The eagle is not afraid of the storm. While every other bird hides in fear, the eagle spreads its wings and rises above the chaos. That right there is the mentality of a warrior, the mentality of someone who refuses to let life break them. When the clouds turn black, when the rain pours, when the winds tear across the sky, the eagle does not retreat, it does not fold. It does not panic like the sparrows or hide like the pigeons. It does the opposite. It leans into the storm, and with a ferocity unmatched, it uses the violent winds that destroy others to lift itself higher. That's what life demands of you. Because storms are coming. They always come. You can't escape them, you can't predict them, and you can't bargain with them. Pain is coming. Struggle is coming. Failure is coming. But the question is, will you cower, or will you rise? Most people, when storms hit, run for cover. They look for comfort, they search for the easy way out, they beg for relief. And that is why they stay grounded. That is why their lives never rise above mediocrity. But the eagle knows that without the storm, it can never fly to the highest skies. Without resistance, it can never find the strength hidden in its wings. And that is the same for you. You don't grow when life is easy. You don't build resilience when everything goes your way. You don't discover your real strength on sunny days. You find it when the sky breaks open, when everything falls apart, when you feel the weight of the world pressing down on your chest. The storm is the test, and the storm is the gift. Most people see the storm as punishment, but the eagle sees it as an opportunity to rise. Think about your own life. How many times have you prayed for an easy path? How many times have you begged for comfort, for things to just go smoothly, for the storms to stay away? And yet, every time you've grown, every time you've discovered a new level of yourself, it was never through ease. It was through the storm. When you failed and had to rebuild. When you were broken and had to rise again. When you were left alone, betrayed, or doubted, and you had to find strength you didn't know existed. The storm forged you. The storm created the hunger. The storm birthed the fighter. And still, most people spend their entire lives running from it. But here's the truth, you can't run from storms. You can hide for a while, you can avoid them for a season, but they will come. Life is not about escaping the storm. It's about facing it with the men. The eagle has a vision sharper than any other bird. It can lock its eyes on its prey from miles away and never lose focus until the mission is complete, and that is exactly how you must live your life if you want to achieve greatness, because the truth is most people are scattered, most people are distracted, most people spend their entire existence chasing too many things at once, trying to please everyone, worrying about opinions that don't matter, and in the end they achieve nothing. They live small, they stay stuck, and they wonder why their dreams never become reality. But the eagle teaches us that power lies in focus, in narrowing your vision so much that nothing can pull you away from your mission, in committing to a goal so fiercely that you are willing to block out the noise, cut away the excuses, and sacrifice anything that stands in the way, because focus is not something you casually have, it is something you deliberately build, it is discipline, it is consistency, it is waking up every day knowing what your target is and refusing to stop until you strike. When an eagle locks its eyes on its prey, it does not waste time with other birds, it does not flutter around looking for easier targets, it does not second-guess its path. It commits with precision, and when it strikes with everything it has, fast, relentless, unstoppable, and that's how you must approach your goals, with an obsession that makes you immune to distraction, with tunnel vision so strong that even failure cannot shake you, because failure is not the end when you are focused, it's just data, it's feedback, it's part of the hunt, and the problem with most people is not lack of talent or lack of opportunity, it is lack of focus. They keep starting and stopping, jumping from one thing to the next, letting fear and comfort pull them off the path, and because of that they never build momentum. But the eagle mentality demands that you stay locked in, that you say no to 99 things so you can say yes to one thing that matters, that you learn to filter the noise of the world and channel all your energy into a singular mission, because energy spread thin is energy wasted, but energy concentrated is energy explosive. And here is the hard truth, focus will cost you, it will cost you friendships, it will cost you comfort, it will cost you free time, and it may even cost you popularity, because when you are truly focused you don't have time for the distractions that everyone else entertains, you don't have patience for gossip, you don't waste hours scrolling or comparing or debating, you are on a mission and you move with urgency, And the eagle mentality understands that if you are not locked in, if you are not committed, you will remain average forever, because average people dabble, but extraordinary people devote, and devotion is the difference between staying on the ground. The eagle doesn't fly in flocks, it doesn't waste time circling with pigeons or sparrows, it doesn't spend its life looking for the comfort of crowds, it flies alone, and that's the brutal truth about greatness. If you want to rise, you will have to separate yourself, you will have to embrace solitude, and you will have to understand that not everyone can come with you on the climb, because most people are afraid of being alone, they want the noise, the validation, the company, but the eagle mentality teaches us that solitude is not weakness, it is power, it is where clarity is built, it is where vision sharpens, it is where strength is born, because when you are alone, you face yourself without distractions, you strip away the opinions, the noise, the comfort, and you are forced to deal with your own thoughts, your own fears, your own doubts. And that's where the warrior is created, in the silence where no one is watching, in the grind that no one praises, in the discipline that no one claps for, because while the flock wastes time together, the eagle is mastering the skies alone, and in life you must accept that the higher you fly, the lonelier the air becomes, because few are willing to pay the price, few are willing to sacrifice the comfort of crowds to build their own path, but if you truly want to soar, you can't be afraid of walking alone, you can't be afraid of training alone, you can't be afraid of sacrificing nights, friends, and distractions, because the eagle mentality says you don't need a crowd to validate your mission, you don't need noise to confirm your strength, you don't need approval to know your worth. And if you think about it, every legend, every leader, every warrior who changed the world had to endure seasons of solitude, seasons where they were misunderstood, doubted, mocked, and even abandoned, but instead of letting it break them, they used that solitude to sharpen themselves, to train their minds, to harden their spirit, and that's exactly what you must do. Stop fearing being alone and start seeing it as the ultimate training ground, because solitude is not empty, it is full of growth, it is full of discipline, it is full of focus, and when you come out of that isolation, you come out stronger, sharper, unstoppable, because just like the eagle, you don't need the flock, you were never meant to live small, to blend in, to follow the crowd, you were meant to rise above it. And that rise will demand seasons of solitude, so embrace it, because solitude builds the strength you need to fly where others can't. The eagle flies higher than any other bird, it rises above the clouds, above the storms, above the chaos of the world below, and that ability to see from a greater height is what separates it from every other creature in the sky, and that is exactly what you must learn to do if you want to build a life beyond the ordinary, because most people are trapped at ground level, they only see what is right in front of them. They live in survival mode, they chase small comforts, they obsess over short-term problems, and because of that their vision never expands, they never see beyond the day-to-day struggle, but the eagle mentality teaches us that true power comes from perspective, from lifting your eyes higher, from daring to look beyond your environment, beyond your limitations, beyond what everyone else around you believes is possible, because vision is the difference between mediocrity and greatness. Vision is what allows you to endure pain, vision is what gives meaning to your struggle. Vision is what keeps you locked in when everyone else quits, and without it you will stay stuck where you are, trapped in cycles of excuses and fear, but with it you become unstoppable, because when you can see higher, you can climb higher. The eagle does not waste time with the noise of the world below, it rises above it, and in the same way you must learn to rise above the gossip, the negativity, the distractions that keep people grounded, because if your vision is only as big as your surroundings, then you are already limited, but if you choose to rise, if you choose to expand your perspective, you will realize that life is bigger than your fears, bigger than your failures, bigger than your circumstances, and that's when you start moving differently, because most people quit when they face setbacks, but someone with vision understands that setbacks are just part of the climb. Most people give up when results don't come fast, but someone with vision knows that time is part of the process. Most people settle for comfort, but someone with vision is willing to embrace pain because they see beyond today, they see the reward waiting at the summit, and this is what the eagle mentality is about. Learning to think higher, dream bigger, believe deeper, and rise above the ordinary mindset of the crowd, because crowds can only see the ground, but an eagle can see the mountain, the horizon, the entire landscape stretched out before it, and that kind of vision is rare, which is why only a few ever achieve it. But if you choose to lift your eyes, if you choose to rise above the noise, if you choose to believe in a life beyond survival, then like the eagle you will see what others cannot see. And you will fly where others cannot follow, because vision beyond the ordinary is not just about looking higher, it's about living higher. The eagle is one of the longest living birds, but it only achieves that longevity because it is willing to endure a brutal process of transformation, and this is where the deepest lesson lies. When the eagle grows old, its beak becomes dull, its talons weak, its feathers heavy, and survival becomes impossible unless it makes a choice: endure the pain of rebirth or die as it is. And so the eagle retreats high into the mountains, away from the world, and begins a process that would break most creatures. It smashes its beak against the rocks until it shatters, it tears away its own talons one by one, it plucks out its old feathers until it is raw, vulnerable, exposed, and in that agony it waits, because it knows new talons will grow, a sharper beak will form, fresh feathers will rise, and with them comes renewed strength, renewed power, renewed life. But that process is not easy, it is not gentle, it is violent, painful, and lonely, yet it is the only path to transformation. And the truth is, your life works the same way, because if you want to rise, if you want to become stronger, if you want to reach levels you've never touched before, you will have to break yourself down, you will have to let go of the parts of you that no longer serve you, you will have to tear away the habits, the comforts, the excuses, the identity that has kept you grounded, and it will hurt, it will feel like you are losing yourself. But in reality you are shedding your old skin to make room for the stronger version of you, and this is the step most people run from. They want growth without pain, change without sacrifice, transformation without suffering, but it doesn't work that way. Greatness is born in the breaking, strength is forged in the fire, and the eagle mentality is about embracing that process. It is about choosing the pain of transformation instead of the comfort of stagnation, because comfort is where dreams die, but pain is where warriors are reborn. And every time you go through seasons of tearing down, every time life strips you, every time you feel broken, you must remind yourself that this is your renewal, this is your sharpening, this is your preparation for the next flight, because you cannot soar with weak talons, you cannot conquer with a dull beak, you cannot fly with heavy feathers, you must strip away what is holding you back, no matter how much it hurts, and the reward is that on the other side of the pain you will rise with new strength, new clarity, new vision, and new fire in your soul. And that is why the eagle outlives every storm, because it is not afraid to be broken down to be rebuilt, and that is why you must carry the same mentality when life forces you to your breaking point. Don't run, don't quit, don't hide, embrace the breaking, embrace the tearing, embrace the loneliness, because this is not your end, it is your rebirth, and if you endure it, if you stay strong through the pain, you will rise higher than you ever have before.